Hey guys, welcome back. It is Dirty Max LML. Well, today we're going to be talking about the Curt A20 fifth wheel hitch designed for the 2020 and 2021 Chevy Silverado HDs. Now this hitch in particular has a 20,000 pound towing capacity. Let's check this thing out. So this is my setup. It's a 2021 Chevy Silverado HD Duramax paired with a 2021 Grand Design Reflection. Now the GVRW on this fifth wheel is about 15,000 pounds. So it's perfectly matched with the 20,000 pound Curt hitch. Although if you have a different size trailer, they also make a 16,000 pound and a 25,000 pound option for you. All right, these are the two side pieces. That's the left and the right, and this thing is gonna fall right down in the middle. Okay, so we're gonna take these pucks out. There we go. Pull that clip off, and as I turn these, it's going to make it so that I can drop this. So turning these locks it in, and this one's a little tight, so I think we're going to have to adjust the pin. Alright, so let's see if we can get the needle nose down here. Grab the needle nose. Let's see if I can pull that out. There you go. All right, so you have this pin here and you want to straighten that out. Tighten it just a tad more. That feels perfect. So in its lock position, you should hear no rattling when you shake this thing hard. All right, so right here you see you have some height adjustment. You can lift this thing up to maybe about here, so you can get some height up here, and then you can drop it all the way down to where this lip right here touches the bottom of this rail. So you have quite a bit of adjustment. All right, the nuts come in one configuration, but in the instructions it shows to put this tiny lock washer there, the actual washer here, and then the nut goes on back underneath here. So we're gonna slide this in. I was able to put this 22 on the back side and hold it while you can get up and underneath here and tighten it. We have now come to the most important part of the video, and feel free to rewind this about 100 times, and this is how it goes. Okay, so you see the spring, drop it down in there with your hand over it, slide this bar down, and slide back on the bar till that spring is in its upward position. Drop that screw in. Now I can feel resistance because that spring is there. Now, and we're going to set it here in this location. Now, there's no nuts underneath here because this is going to replace that. These are threaded. We'll start this first one here. And you can't get the second one in quite yet because you have that spring tension. So you're going to need to put tension on that spring. And back this out just enough to where I can get underneath it. I can slide this in, pull that up, that spring, and now you want to tighten this. Okay, so we have a number 5. And tighten this up all the way. So now when it's in this position, it's locked. And here we have the Curt A20 fully installed. This is what she's going to look like. So one thing to mention on this particular hitch, the A20, is that you have a height adjustment from 13 inches down on the bottom up to 17 inches up on top. Now that's a lot lower than the slider bar option. The slider bar option actually goes from 17.5 inches all the way to 21.5 inches, which is very, very tall. So at the highest part, it's going to be pretty much level with the bed rail. So you got to keep that in mind if you're going to have a tonneau cover. Let's see how much squat this truck actually has. And if you guys have a vehicle out there, please let me know the details of how much squat you had, what it took to get it level. And because there's a lot of people out there that need to know that information. There's a lot that's involved with trying to get the truck and the trailer to drive just right. So, and please make sure you guys leave a thumbs up as well. My old truck was a 2016 LML. It had a 6.5 inch BDS lift on it with a 3-inch block in the rear. I was running 35s and I had about a 2.5 inch worth of squat on that truck. Now I did take out the overload springs on the back, So I added the airbags and I was able to ride pretty much level. There was still a little bit of rake in the fifth wheel, but it did drive very, very nice. So if you guys have any stories, share them with me, please. Okay, so right here we have our camera system, and as you can tell, you can zoom in and you can see nice up and close to what's going on. And then having this button right here to be able to drop the tailgate and raise it up is really nice, because it's one less step that you have to do. This is on a little bit of a slant, but I want to see how much squat there is once I add all this pressure. So I'm not sure what the tongue weight is on this, but so right now that's 8.5 inches. So that's right on top of the tire, right on this lug here. Let's go ahead and lower this down real quick. Okay, there's all the weight. We went from 8.5 to about 6 3/4, almost 7. And we are off the ground right here, but you can tell you're looking at about 1.5 to 2 inches of squat. Now this truck is sitting fairly level. It looks like maybe a tad bit of rake in the front, but it's sitting pretty level. I mean, that's a lot of weight on this truck for a 15,000 pound trailer. This is 41 feet long. She's very long, but that's not that bad. I was expecting more. So I do plan on possibly putting a leveling kit on here. So with the leveling kit, I would like to put airbags on the rear end, just so I can have full control and make sure that I can stay completely level. All right, so it's always hard to get the tailgate open, but not anymore. All right, now that this is down, I got a fair amount of space right here. I'm looking at probably roughly 8 to 9 inches of space in between the tailgate and the RV, which is really nice. And also, I have this Curt A120 set at its highest setting, which is at 17 inches. So you can see how high that comes up to the bed rail. We are just at 17 inches of height, so they're pretty dead on. Okay, now to the very top of the bed rail, we're at 21.5 inches. I've had both different options of handles, and this one I do prefer over the other one. So the less expensive handled option I prefer better than the other one. The other one just seems a little bit more complicated. This one's just very simple, easy to use, and it's pretty much foolproof. I want to say thank you again to the guys at GM for creating this step, because you realize you're using it all the time. Okay, just release the pin. Now we're pulling out and releasing. It's that easy. So the Curt A20 is actually designed for the long bed, and actually this is a short bed box, but the dimensions for the prep package are identical, so this will fit the long bed or the short bed truck. Now the short bed trucks have a different option. It has a slider bar. Now that slider bar, you're able to move the fifth wheel hitch back and forth to make it easier to park, so you don't hit the top of your truck. But because of the design of the reflection, it sits back real far. When I did have the slider rails on my old truck, the 2016 Duramax, I never used it, so I decided to buy this one for the 2021. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and don't forget to click that bell for any future videos. This is Dirty Max LML, and I'll see you on the next video.